Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I am Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, here to help guide you on your burning adventures. And I'm joined today with hubby.
Okay.
And I just wanted to do a quick live, like really quick, probably under half an hour. Pat sent me 2 new tips that I wanted to try out for you. And this is the micro rounded skew, and this is the 18S small spear shader. And just to quickly show you the difference, I pulled out the one on the right is the medium, this is the small, and this is the large. All of them 18s. It's just, we're playing with the small one today. And then for the rounded skew, this is the micro, and this is just the 12S. So there is a big difference in size there. I have not played with them yet. Hi, Sian. Hi, Eve. Hi, Sheila. Alright, let's get these plugged in. And I have everything linked down below. This is on birch, the leaves. I've burned them before. I would burn them to test the coalwood, and I had a second one to test the Optima, but I didn't do it. So I had this laying around. And this little guy, which I forgot to pull the reference photo, is when I transferred my ravens for the AAC piece. I also did this on one of these little cards. There we go. So everything's linked down below. So I thought we would test them both. And I think we're going to go ahead and go with the spear shader first. Because these are smaller, we don't need as much heat, which means a lower setting. Let's see here, get this where you guys can see it. I grabbed a new test board the other day. Hi, Philip. Hey, Paulo. Hi, Robin. Alright, so just at 1, which is not going to be a very dark burn, but wow, it's more than I was expecting. Which I knew it was going to burn on a really low heat. And this is the biggest reason for the low end setting on your burner. Let's see here. See how well you can see it. So that's the 1, and I just bumped it up to 2.
What settings? What settings are you on right now?
Right now I'm on, what, for live stream?
Yeah.
60 frames per second. It looks good, doesn't it?
It looks really clear.
That's why I wanted this setting.
What were you using before?
30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the third, and looks like, let's see here, on the medium, I tend to use the tip to get the best heat, but let's see here. Oh, even the heel of this pin burns. So let's bump up to 2.5 real quick. And see what we get there. I know, I switched it over to 60. I was like, our video card does this. It should look better than it does. So
yeah,
that's
really good.
2.5.
Podge is here.
Hey, Podge. And this is 3. And this one I am holding flatter to the board, the whole tip, and the whole tip's burning. That's good. That's helpful. But also something to watch out for if you're doing a small area. And then this one is 3.5. Nice toasty burn. We'll go up to 4. I think I'll stop at 5 because there's really no reason to go past 5. Though on the illustration board, I actually went up to almost 7. So, got some smoke there. That's
Hey, Paulo.
3.
Paolo says the video looks awesome.
Oh, good.
He's watching on the TV.
Is it too bright? Because I'm looking, my settings on OBS are darker than the settings. Is that a little better? Less glary? Let's see here.
I don't think anybody said it was too bright.
Well, I looked up, and so that's, let's see here. 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. Okay, we got to go to 4.5. I lost my track. It does look much better. I like it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to make such a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, 4.5. And I'm using the whole bottom of the tip. That's why the strokes are so long. And 5. Luckily, it's still not glowing. That makes me happy. It's not warm in my hand. Oop. Maybe we should go to 6. Because see, the burn starts looking the same once you get up to the higher settings. But just to prove this. So this is 1, 2, 3. No, 2.5, 3, 4. So 5, 5.5. 4, 4.5. I lost track. I can't count. Well, this is 5.5. Whew. Get some smoke in there. I don't know if you can see the smoke on camera.
I can't.
Well, there was a big old poof of it.
Oh.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I just saw it.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Okay, this is going to be our last thing of smoke. And this is on 6. And I see a little bit of cherry. I read not a whole lot. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, a little bit. This would be the highest that I would burn. Ready for the smoke? Here we go.
Wow. That is a lot of smoke.
Alright, so we'll turn this one off. And so far, yeah, if you notice, other than getting the heat radiating around and burning the board, you really don't see a difference in burn once you get up to 5. Alright, so let's try this rounded skew. This is going to take even less heat because this is even thinner than, let's see here, it's not, I don't have autofocus on, so it's gonna be hard to.
No, I can see. So
we've got the edge right here. You're really not going to burn with the bottom, though you could flip and burn with the top, and I'm guessing that's going to give you a little thicker line. So we are on 1. Make sure you can see. Let's see how small I get. So the footprint of the burn or the tip is that. You probably can't see it very well yet. Go up to 2. I do like that spear shader.
The one you have now, or
the one I just tested.
Okay.
I do like that. See, it's so bright. I don't want it so bright. Let's cut down the brightness. Let's see if that helps a little bit so you can see. Alright, so we are at 2. I'm going to do long strokes and then I'll do the footprint of the tip. So just the tip.
Robin has a question.
Yes.
The higher the burn, do you get more of an indent?
Yes. Let's see if you can see if I can get it for you. It's probably hard to see, but yes, you do get a bit thicker indent. All right, we are at 3.
Yeah, these are just tips that you're testing, right?
Well, Pat sent them to me because I didn't have these. And so right now what we're doing, yeah, I'm just testing to see what it does, what the different heats look like. before I use it on anything.
Hmm.
So here's the footprint.
So are these pins that are available? Or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are new to me. They are not new pins, just new to me.
Okay.
Especially because when working on the hummingbird, I was having a hell of a time. And sometimes the ball tips don't work for what you want. And so I was talking to Pat, and these are going to give me, you don't have to have them, but they're definitely going to give me more options. So we're on 3.5. That's a nice line. And I figured because between doing smaller pieces for Pyrography month, and there's a lot of people who do just work small, that they might like to see the pins in action. So before they decide what they want. All right, 4. I think I actually like this skew better than the bigger one. I can do the lines next to it just on like a medium burn just so we can see the difference. 4.5. Need to wipe off the tip. There we go. 5. Kind of hard to see. See if I put autofocus on. It'll. Let's see how much that'll bother everybody.
Okay.
I might click it off, but it's just so I can move things up close to the camera so you can see. And 5. Let's see here. Not seeing any red. Now we're getting smoke on 5. And I am going with the grain. That's another reason why you see carbon lifting up off the board. I'm going with the grain instead of against it. Let's see here. Is autofocus messing with anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe as long as I keep my hand in. Let's see here. 5.5. And I don't normally work flat, but I kind of needed a change of scenery. 6. I'm guessing I doubled up on one of the burns. Oops. So I wonder, see here. 4. I'll just put the 6 down here because I know that's 6. I see a lot of wood carvers use these smaller tips. But we can also use them for, sorry, I was trying to think about what I wanted to do. But we can also use it in our flat burning. So, and what I'm doing here is trying to get just the footprint. And then I'm going to go to the bigger tip. Let's see here, footprint and line. Just so we can see if there's any difference in size that way. I know the footprint's going to be different, but let's see if some of the lines will be different. So this is the 18 small. Oh, I didn't check the edge. I need to check the edge. So I'm going to do 3.5 on all these. Hopefully 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Okay, that should be dark enough. So yes, the footprint. And then, oh, I didn't keep the side. That's what I wanted. So this is the line that the 18M would make, or S would make. And I'll switch over to the, this is the larger skew. Keep it on the same temperature.
Why is it called a skew?
Because it's skewed? I honestly don't know. I think that's just, I don't know. Do I need to turn off autofocus?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So this is going to be 3.5 as well. But see, it's rounded. I know it's rounded because if you look at it, it's rounded.
Huh.
But I'm not sure why. Alright, so here's the footprint. This one's going to obviously get bigger. So that's that angle, but we can bring it down as well. So there we go. So if you're burning with it, it'd be that. So let's see if the thinness is different. It looks like the smaller one is just a bit thinner. Yeah, just a bit thinner. Good for whiskers, fine hairs. Like even with the otter, I actually wish I would have had that one. I think it would have made a difference. All right, so now this is the 18M, and I know for the 18L, I'm gonna have to bump up the heat to get the same burn color because there's more metal. It needs to heat up. Let's see where. Wait a second. Luckily, in the scheme of things, this is a quick heat up. Now this, I'm expecting the burn to be a little lighter for the same reason I just said. Maybe not. Alright, so just the footprint. Yeah, see that actually did a smaller area because of how it's created. The edge. Alright. The 18M may end up being some of my go-to instead of this, or the small instead of the medium. And then we're going to do the large. Then I think we can get on to burning. So this is what I'm doing here. I suggest you do with any new pins you get, just so you have an idea. I mean, sometimes I'm just plugging in pins and then I'm caught off guard a little bit. You guys may not know how caught off guard that I am, and things don't necessarily work the way I want it to. So it is better to do just quick testing. Alright. This feels so big now compared to the other ones. The other two. Okay, I think, you know what, I'm going to bump this up to 4 because it's going to need just a little bit more heat. Give it a second. Then we'll do the footprint, which I don't know any other way to call it. So, 3. Edge. There we go. So I bumped it up to 4 so I could get the same value. So let's see what we got real quick. So looking at the spear shaders, we get a thinner line with the big one. We have a full print of the small, which is that one. We have, where'd my other ones go? Am I losing it? No, okay. Alright, so the medium, because the medium is angled just a bit. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. There's a little tiny curve, just a little bit up on the 18M, maybe.
Okay, I can see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas the 18S doesn't have that, or it doesn't appear to have it. I could be wrong. It just could be so minute that it's not interfering with anything. All right, so I think we'll do a little bit of the leaf first. Let's see here. Make sure you can Is it still bright enough? And
Yeah, it's plenty bright.
okay. Let's see here. Where am I going to do this? I really only want to do like the stem area because that's like really small. And since I'm going to be working in smaller areas for World Pyrography Month, since everything is going on one board, I do think these are going to come in handy. Now, test board over here. And I'm on 2.5. Yeah. Now let it heat up for a second. Make sure you can see that. So do we have any other questions?
No, not yet.
Well, while this is heating, I pulled out my other what's considered microtips. So we got the needle and 9 MS? No, 9 PB. This is the 9 MS. The small ball tip. And I think I would classify the 1/8 spoon shader in there as well.
So what makes a micro?
Really small.
Yeah, but all the tips look small to me.
I see what you mean, but in the scheme of things, these are the tiniest, at least that I have. And this allows you to do like the little beads. A lot of people do the little beads and just small necklaces and whatnot. And they just make it easier so you're not messing up your burning. You're not overheating it, and you're able to get a nice clean burn. Now, I don't have any reference photos in front of me, so we're just gonna go. I can get darker, I think. So we got a stem right here, and a lot of times I would have switched to the ball tip to get in here, but I'm using it just the angle, and I'm able to get into that smaller area and get a, I would say, a smoother burn, because the ball tips sometimes can catch on the wood, on the grain. Alright, so I guess we'll make this dark. It's just easier to get into the smaller areas. So this is rounded. And I don't feel like I'm going over other areas that I don't want to go into right now. So that helps. Right now I'm just using the end of it. Let's see here. Yeah, it's working well. I like it. I know this is a shadow. So we'll go in here because the leaf is curled. Let's get under there. I definitely see how these are very useful. And I would say not just for carvers. The 12, apparently a lot of carvers use that for like hummingbird carvings to put the detail feathers in. Kind of wish I would have had it. I didn't know. I asked Pat about a different tip and kind of told him when he mentioned the hummingbird. I was like, I'm doing a hummingbird. I could use that tip. So he kindly sent it to me.
Beryl Masenko and Brian Tinian have both joined chat.
Hi, Brian. And what was the other name?
Beryl.
Oh, hi, Beryl. Sorry about that. Let's see here. So, yeah, it's doing great getting into small areas. Let's see here. I'm just trying to think what everything was. So down here is, I didn't pull the photo for it. Yeah, this is a Good area. This was just the stem and it's curled up, so the leaf's curled up, so part of the stem is hiding. And this is on birch. I'm not finding a problem with it. I am bumping the heat up a little bit because I'm just using the tip. It's burning a little lighter, which is fine for me. Let's see here. That's a shadow. So let's put a shadow on. Trying to get the right angle for it. I just keep spinning you off the screen. There we go. And actually, I can blend this shadow out. I'm going to take off the pencil so I can blend it out. Woo! I'm just bouncing everything around, aren't I? Sheesh. The camera's like really close. Oh. I'm not up on my easel.
I didn't even really notice. Robin wants to know, what is your favorite wood to burn on?
In general, I like birch. Basswood would be my second. I started a long time ago. Well, my first piece is basswood, but I was doing ponderosa pine for a couple of years, and then moved over to, I think it's called agathis plywood. Let's see here. I've been mainly doing the birch consistently now for what? 6 years? Mm-hmm. So that's our shadow. I could blend it out more, but I'm not going to mess with it. I did good getting right up against the edge and doing it cleanly. Let's see here. This would go a little darker. I can't even look at the original burning because it's hanging in an art show right now.
Oh, I thought that looked familiar.
Yeah, it's the, yep. I think I'll finish this one and maybe use a different color media for it. There were things about this that I would burn differently, so I think this will work out. And the fact that I've got these smaller tips will help.
Robin says she has a huge basswood tree in the yard.
Oh. You could do a lot of walking sticks, huh? Let's see here. What's funny is I don't even know what a basswood tree looks like. Don't even know. Let's see here. You know what? Let's try the rounded skew real quick, and then we'll give this a try on the raven, of which I did not pull the reference photo for that either. Let's see here. This I know can go lower. I think I liked it on 1, 2, 2.5, 3. I think we'll do 3.5, which is where I was. Alrighty. If you pull that box out right there, love, I do have on the top, the raven should be in the first couple. If you don't mind, please. No, the clear box to the left. Yep. Oh, okay. That's where I've been putting all my reference photos and patterns after I'm done with them. Get them out of my way.
And you want the raven?
Yeah. I just need a photo. That way I put things in the right place. Just waiting for the tip to heat up. It's getting warm in the studio. Let's see here. So this would be good for some of the veining. Because there was, these are oak leaf and maple leaf. So we do have veining. Maybe just the end of it. Like the very end.
Do you have any particular pictures of Raven?
It's the one from the AAC.
Oh, okay, that one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's just the...
And you just want the photo reference?
Yeah, that's all I need.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I put like his eyeball in the right... Yep, that's it. Thank you. Make sure I put like his eyeball in the right place. this is the other side. That way, it does really well on thin lines, like I expected it to. Let's see, what happens if I put it on the edge? No, it's going to grab the wood. Alright, let's see here. Oh, we got a vein here. And I'm not necessarily burning the vein just next to it. If I shaded it right, I can make it look like this is the shadow line next to the vein. Yeah. Because I'm on 3, I mean, I'm feeling 3.5. I am feeling a little bit of heat, like just a little bit, just telling me the pin's on my fingertip, but not anything glove worthy. Let's see here, another small area. I just need say one more small area right here. This. I definitely see how this is going to be useful for me with animal fur, for detail fur, whiskers. And it moved, I mean, not that this one doesn't move very well, it does, but this one seems a little even easier to move across the board and across the grain, because that's another big thing. It's not grabbing. I'm going against it. Let's see if I can find a width. With the grain. And I'm getting pretty smooth curves. Yeah. I think this one would work better on animal fur, to be honest. Let's see here. Alright, let's try it on the raven. Now this is going to burn differently. I didn't grab any watercolor paper. Let's see. Huh, what did I do with that? Hold on a second.
Watercolor paper.
Well, I normally have like a strip, test strip. That's all I'm looking for. Because even though this paper is different, it's still paper. It's still thicker paper. So I can use it for a test strip. Alrighty. Make sure it's on. And all I'm doing is testing the heat. In fact, this is going to have to go higher. I know this requires a higher temperature. So I'm going to start this off right below 5. I've gotten so used to being on an easel, I'm not used to the cord draping over my arm. Let's see here. Now I am going to feel more heat because I'm having to be at a higher temperature.
Michael Ann's here.
Hi, Michael Ann. There we go. Alright, I bumped it down to 4.5. So, let's see here. See. I don't know how well. This raven, I took the photo. So, you know what? I'm just going to go over it. Does it stand out too much? Not enough? Or?
Ursi's is here too.
Hi, Ursi.
Yeah,
Ursi's?
you can see it clearly.
Okay. Let's see here. So we got fine hair under the raven. So yeah, it's going to need more heat. This paper, this board requires even more heat than watercolor paper. I was really surprised. And it's going to get hot for me.
So paper, in general, requires more heat than wood?
Yep.
Huh. It's interesting.
It's just the way it's processed and whatnot. It just requires more heat. Alright. So we have some small feather thingies on the beak. So let's get those in. I keep spinning the pen. Alright. So get that in there. And then I can use the other small pins for the eyeball. Yeah, I'm really feeling the heat, like having my hand down. I wasn't having this problem up on the easel. That's because the only way for the heat to go was up with my finger. It's the first thing it comes in contact with.
When are you going to start using your easel again?
Huh?
When are you going to go back to your easel?
Oh, when I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted kind of a change of angle and kind of be able to spread out since I was switching between pins so much. Just needed something a little different. That's all. No, I would be working on my easel to keep this from happening. Twist. And all I'm doing is trying to see how well the fine lines are. And I've got tape on the back of the raven here. So it's taped to the paper and I gotta move all of it. So we're looking at fine feathers. Those. And I'd go even darker, but let's try the spoon shader, or spear shader, sorry. Alright, come on, get untangled. There we go. So I'm going to leave it on the same setting for now, and let's see how it does in the paper. But that's why having the scratch piece of paper and wood is very helpful, because if you have it bumped up too high, you're going to get a burn you did not want. Oh, see, yep, this tip burns a little different, so I can bump down to a little above 4. See, I know this paper grabs the tip. I'm going to have to clean the tip when I'm done. Alright, that should be enough. So, let's see here. We'll just look at the beak. Make sure I'm on. Use the egg and then draw it out. This is the darker part of the beak. Some of the feathers lay on top. Actually, it's going to need more heat. And I'm just using the end. Okay. Let's see here. Bring it down. I am going to have to bump up to 5. Because we have darker feathers around here. Just put it in. Yeah, I do think this pen would have been very helpful for when I was doing the ravens. I was switching back and forth through a lot of pens trying to find the one pen that I wanted to use for specific areas. Because honestly, if I can find a pen that works good for that area, I can move quicker. This would have worked. And this is the same size of the raven that I did in the burning. I just pulled this out and transferred it while I was transferring the other one. I do think I'm going to finish this one just to have it. See, I can smell the paper burning, and this board does not smell good. If you want a review on the board, I guess I could do one. This is a little different than the, because this is for dry media, and because I had different plans for the ravens for the video you saw, that one is for wet and dry media.
Lisa Puremeister is here.
Hey, Lisa. It's been a long while. too long. Alright. Oh, I'm liking both of those pens because now I'm using the edge and as I'm starting a little flatter and then turning, and it's doing. It drives me nuts. I gotta take this off. I can't slide. There we go. I'm liking this. See, I can do like I was doing a group of feathers. So I can do the thicker area, and then as I'm coming down to the end where it would be thin, more individual hairs for feathers, I can turn it and get some of those detail feathers. Okay.
Oh, Lisa says she was here last week, but she didn't have sound.
Oh, that's right. Do we have sound today? I'm guessing so. He said he was here last week. Yeah. He heard me. Oops. All right. Yeah, this pen would have been very helpful. Let's see here. This goes up. All right. I would definitely recommend these pens, especially working on an easel for paper. Yeah. And see now, because I was having to use like the small ball tip for the finer areas around the eye, but now I can just switch over to, well, I can use a small ball tip for the eyeball itself. So I'm going to switch over here. Make sure I got the right cord. So the small eyeball will do good on, or the small ball tip will do good on the eyeball. And then I can use the 9pp for even more detail. Put you on. Here we go. Alright. So this is still at 5. So.
She says that she didn't realize I was asking her about her adventure in Malta until after she watched the replay.
Oh.
Brian Tinian wants to know if you have any tips about doing faces. I guess Brian is just starting doing faces.
I have some live videos where I did eyes, nose, lips. They're like different. Each live was for a specific part of the face. I should have a playlist so that you can just go through and watch that. It's been a while since I've done a face. I need to do one. But the biggest thing would be no outlines. No outlines. Layers. And a very accurate underdrawing to start off with. I think those would be the 3.
Good reference.
Good reference, yes. Good reference. Along with that, good outline. This is the needle tip. You okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you hurt your toe again?
No, that was my heel.
Oh. Alright, so I'm doing this to get into the really small areas. I figured might as well check and see how well they all work together. So this is so I can get into fine areas. The eyeball. See, this really grabs those, so you have to be careful. I honestly think the 9pp would work better just for stippling in small areas. Let's see here, where can I stipple? I'll stipple in some of the... I think it would work better that way than trying to drag it. It does grab the wood and skip. because it's so sharp, but you can dull it down.
Do you want to, though?
I don't, but some people may want to. Yeah, it does really fine dots, but for dragging.
Beryl wants to know, is that the razor tip ball tip? But I think
No, these are all Optima.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Pat had run out and was waiting for his supplier to replace his foam grips, and they sent him black grips, which was the wrong order. And while he was fixing it, I told him, "Yes, send me the pin. I don't care."
So Brian thanks you. Yeah, he'll look for your videos.
No problem. Yeah.
In regards to the faces, Lisa says, and lots of practice, not as easy as it looks.
No. As long as you start off with a good reference and a good base drawing, and you take your time, I think even the most novice to wood burning, no outlines, that you'll get closer to the end result that you want and what you didn't expect and be happy with it. Alright, this is the 9MS, and there we go. Alright, so this one I can drag a little bit more, but even the 9PP is still useful for texture and getting into small areas.
Alma, I'm gonna mess up your last name, Alma, but Alma Arizba, I think. First time catching you live.
Hi, Alma. Well, welcome. All I'm doing today is playing and testing these 2 new tips to me. Alright. Yeah, I like those 2 tips. I will be using them. And probably the most that I'll use is the 18S. But that's mainly because the spear shader tends to be my go-to when I'm first turning on. And that would be this one. But I do think that 18M is still worth purchasing. Let's see here. So I want that one. No. I got my cords going back and forth and I need to switch it. Alright. So I think I'll finish up a little bit of this and
Alma would like to know your product. I'm assuming that she's talking about the Optimas and the temperature of your pen.
This is an Optima 1. I'm using the dual burner. There's single burners also available. And right now I would be on setting 4. It's hard to, I don't have any temperatures as to how hot the tip is running, or the pen is running right now, and I'm bumping up to 5. So in using the side, what I can do is have the burning graduate out as well. Let's see here. Where's another dark area? Here's another dark area. Yeah, I need to turn it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm liking this. To be honest, I hadn't even looked at these in the past because I tend to do bigger burnings. But even on a bigger burning, these would definitely be helpful. Let's see here. Yeah. Wow. Wish I would have had these before. Let's see here. Well, I'm kind of finishing up where I'm going to stop. Do you have any more questions?
No. Some nice comments.
Yeah, I definitely would still work on an easel. And if you're burning beads, you're going to need to wear a glove. But I'm sure you already do. Let's see here. This goes off. And then when I turn this off and it cools off, we'll look at it and see. You know what? I'm going to try real quick the 18M, which is what I used for this size piece when I was burning the raven. Let's see. Which would be this one, a little bit bigger. Just quickly we'll see a little bit of the difference.
Brian wants to know how thick is the paper
Let's see here.
you're using.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if they've got this thickness. I'd say it's about 1/16. Because it doesn't look like...
And what's the weight? And like, I mean, I'm
For the board, they have it as 42 points. They rate it a little differently than watercolor paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says 42 points. And this is a sample that I had gotten in a magazine or something. And I thought I would test them out. Alright. So, let's see here what we're working here. Calculate this in the entire heat. Karen wind up. I feel twisted. Twist. Don't get your cords twisted and not. Alright. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is gonna have. See the white? That's the paper coming off of the tip. Which is what watercolor paper does. Watercolor paper. Yeah. Slow down. And this is kind of, yeah, this is how I felt when I was burning with the 18M on this paper. I'd say the 18S is doing a better job. Let's see here. This is the tip. Even now I'm not burning completely flat. The heel's not touching down. I know it's so hard to see on camera. I'm just using the upper edge. You can see where the paper is. I'm gonna have to clean it because the paper is gonna help. It's gonna drag the tip, make it harder to burn. All right. So the 18M I think would have worked better for me, or 18S. Same number, different size. And even though they're the same tip, as in shape, they do burn differently. Yeah. Yeah, I think the 18M does better on the paper. Let's see here. Clean it off for a second. And then on the wood, I'm trying to think where my shadows were. I had a shadow there.
It's the first time for Brian to be in live as well.
Well, welcome. Thank you for joining. Normally it's a little more talkative, but just working on testing these pens. So the 18S gives me, I feel a little more comfortable in the smaller spaces. I don't feel like I'm going to overburn with it. Let's see here. Find another place. Lower the heat. Let's see here. Yeah, I still have paper on here. I'm trying to remember the pattern as to what I had where. This was also shadow. Let's touch that. See, now I have to worry about the heel touching down. Turning so I don't get that. Yeah, for smaller areas, the 18S is worth it. Less frustrating. And right now I'm at 4.5. And I do feel a little bit of heat right here. Nothing uncomfortable for me. Let's see here. Now this one seems to do the line better. Let's see. Drop off. They both recover the heat well. Right now I'm going with the grain. Because I'm on a higher heat. Can you smell it? Can you smell the wood? Oh, I can. It's so nice. When's winter? I need winter. I don't, in general, get to smell the wood burning very often.
Alma just joined your group on Facebook.
Oh, well, thank you.
And she says she loves your work.
Oh, thank you so much.
Earthy's really likes these pens. Or this pen.
You like this one? This is the 18M. But I do think... Let's see here.
Brian has to go.
Well, thank you for stopping by, Brian. Let's see here. I'm going to quickly show the 18L. And I think we'll wrap it up. I didn't expect to go too long. I gotta get this ready for World Pyrography Month. Alright, so this is the 18L. Got all these pins everywhere.
Vera wants to know, will you be posting which tips you use the most?
I can't. What, just in general?
I think so, yeah.
It really does depend on the piece I'm working on. But I would say the 18M is the one I use the most. And now it'll be the 18S as well. Let's see how this one does. I haven't really used this one too much. Let's see. That's not bad. I'm going to do over here real quick. If I was doing a black background, since this covers a bigger area, what it would look like. So I bumped it up to 5. There we go. So if I was doing a background. No, black background. I can't say it. I can't say it. All right, here we go. Let's see. Because at this point, I'm wondering should I recommend all 3 of the 18? The spear shaders? Yeah, 3. Oh, that smells so good. I want fall to happen now.
What smells good?
Can you smell it now?
Yeah, it smell. Oh yeah, the smoke.
Yeah. You don't get to smell it very often. Well, this does. I'm trying to see how even. That's what I'm wanting, is the evenness. That's what I'm looking for. This board is not sanded. I forgot about that. Let's see here. If I was doing a dark background, I'm gonna bump it up to 6 just to see what happens. Yeah, this board's not sanded. This board is sanded. This one is not, because it's just my test board. I didn't feel like killing my hand just to sand it. Let's see here. Well, I think I might need to use this pen more often for larger areas. As long as I keep moving it, I have the heat set at 6. And as long as I keep moving it, I don't get the indenting as much. In fact, very little. Well, I think I need to do more videos on just the tips. Wow, okay. This pen actually, I have not sat down and tested it like this. I think I just did a couple of marks. I actually, let's see here. See if I can pick up a glare. The glare will help you see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I didn't get any pitting. It's still warm. When I was doing the circles. So actually, I would recommend all 3 of those pens. Okay. Wow. But for what we're doing right now, come back together. For what we're doing right now, I would recommend the 18S, which is the spear shader, and the 12S rounded skew, especially for small work. And since I'm going to be doing the World Pyrography Month on one board, so my subject matter for each day is going to be smaller, these are definitely going to help out, because I've got a little bit of paper on here. I'm just going to use my strap. Yep. I do have to clean the tips when using paper, and that's all tips. In fact, a non-polished tip is really going to eat up the paper. Yep, not clean. Let's check this one real quick. Alright, so now to clean this one. And I'm not putting pressure. I'm trying to clean the edge a little bit because I did pull up some grain and carbon. You really shouldn't have to clean your skews too much. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And then the medium spear shader, I got the paper on it, so might as well take the time to show quick. The polish on these tips makes a big difference. If you own other brands, let's see here. I'm going to pull, I do have a razor tip spoon shader still, and I'll just show you real quick the difference in polish. Now this pen I've had, it'll be a year next month. I got it or beginning of September. Alright, see how well you can see this. So eye shiny still. But this has got a dull shine to it. And that's because razor tip doesn't focus. Give me focus. Give me the focus. Yeah.
Well, you can see.
Yeah. That's about the best I can do. But they're not highly polished. So now my tip's all clean and ready to use again.
Beryl wants to know if you prefer a spear shader over a spoon shader.
They have two different burns, and it really depends on what I am burning as to which one I grab. Because the spoon shaders work a little bit more like ball tips, only they heat up quicker, and you can move it so that you don't get quite the blob from from touching down. So that would be these. So these versus, let's see here. Helps if I grab the right pen. So for this being the small spear shader, I would say burn wise, it's going to be about the size of the medium. I'm just moving all over the place. Medium spoon. So if you notice, you've got more surface area with the spear shader, and they heat up differently, so the burn is just slightly different. So I recommend both, to be honest. And I do use both, but I will say I use the spear shader more because I got used to not having the spoon shaders. So I have to get back into the habit of using those. Let's see here. Make sure this is clean. So the micro tips do have larger of the same. So there are series, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I should do it in the order. The two middle ones, these two, are the new ones. These are the larger sizes of those. Hopefully that helps, and it doesn't help.
Heather's here.
Hi, Heather. I guess my angle could be better. So, do I recommend them? Yes, absolutely. I'm actually really excited. I can't wait to burn more with these, especially the spear shader. But, yeah. And then I'll put this here. So, oops. You can see. There we go. So do we have any other questions?
No.
So everything looked okay? Did we have buffering?
No.
No buffering?
No.
Really? Because when we started the stream, it said bad stream.
No, there was no buffering.
Oh, well that's awesome. So no buffering. It looks better. I'm excited. Very cool. Okay, well this weekend I will release a video with the first week of the World Pyrography Month prompts. So it'll go from Wednesday, the prompts will be from Wednesday to Saturday, so you can get started on everything. I am going to be using these pens for World Pyrography Month. And if you don't know what it is, that is World Pyrography Month. I have an iCard. Let's see, do this angle right there, boo-boo, right up there, with the video announcing it and the wood that I'm using. What's funny is everybody's picking board 3, it looks like, and that's the board that got damaged falling. The shelf falling. But it's fine. I can make do. No use in wasting the wood. Alright. Anything else?
No, Heather's here, so she's
Yeah.
making comments.
Yeah.
Sitting in here, or
Yeah, because I said tip a lot. I'm using the tip. Yes, I did. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Look forward to the video this weekend, and we will get ramped up for World Pyrography Month. Let me know down in the comments if you got this far. Do you want me to start a day early on my first day for World Pyrography Month, doing that on the live? Because Tuesday is the 31st. Do you want me to start a day early so you can see how I'm lining everything up? Or do something new? Happy burning, guys. Bye.
Bye.